What's going on? What's happening? The world needs to stop having major events because I am at my breaking point, and I know a lot of you are too. I cannot pull my salon through another world event. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm over it. We had been open 6 months when COVID hit, and then like a recession hit. And if you're in Canada, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure if you are in other places, you know what I'm talking about too, because the economy sucks everywhere right now. And if you're a small business owner, especially a hair salon owner, it's a luxury service, and people didn't really click into that for a really long time. Up until about 2022, I think people didn't click into the fact that hair really is a luxury service. It is not a need. It is not a necessity. It is not something that you need to survive on. So even during COVID, there were people like getting their hair done when salons were open. But right now, things suck, you guys. Things suck. Things suck. And I know even the really popular, really big salons, like I know that even they are struggling because everyone is like we're all feeling it, all of us. And if you're a hairdresser, I mean, which you probably are, or at least you're interested in hair if you're watching this video, if you're a subscriber of mine. By the way, hello, this is Bumble. I'm Katie from Bobby Hair Studio. Didn't even bother. Just went right into the deep emotional stuff, like right away. Hi! I want to quit. By the way, my name's Katie. So, you know, like, if you're one of those hairdressers who's having a really, really, really hard time, like, building a clientele, holding on, it's been years that you've been doing this, and you've been doing this ever since, like, the beginning of the pandemic, maybe a little bit before, and you've been finding, like, why is it so hard? It shouldn't have been this hard to build up a clientele this, you know, for this long. Like, I know stylists who have been doing this for 4 years, and they're like, I have empty weeks. I have mostly empty days. When I do get somebody, it's giant gaps in between them, and it shouldn't be this way after 4 years. And they're right. You're right if you're in that spot right now. Like, if you're feeling that, you're right. You're 100% right. Nobody should tell you that you're wrong, because that's not how it's supposed to be. I've been a hairdresser for coming up 10 years now, and like my first 3 years, yeah, there were definitely days that were like completely empty, you know, but 3-4 years in, I was solidly booked. My first 2 years, it was like days that were empty. And, you know, my first 8 months was because I was at a terrible salon that never booked me anything. And, you know, it was just a bad situation. But then I went to one of those big corporate chain salons in Canada. You know which one if you know me. And things built up really fast there because people were getting their hair done. It was like a normal time. It was like 2015, 2016. Everyone's getting balayage, ombre, blonding. Like, it was easier to build a clientele then. And my tips and tricks were helping everybody that I would tell. Be like, oh, do this, do this, do this, do this. You will build a clientele so fast. You'll be able to move out into your own chair. It'll still be a big risk, but you'll be able to do that within a couple of years. And I did that. I did that my 3rd year of hairdressing. I was able to maintain enough of a clientele that I could go start my own small business and go from there. And I know hairdressers who've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now, and they just started, or were just starting-ish, when the pandemic hit. And they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. Like, I get it. I don't want to do this either. I don't want to do this either, and I'm solidly booked. Because whether you're booked or not, you're in a rock and a hard place of like, okay, the few clients that I do have, I can't raise my prices because then they'll leave. But I need to raise my prices because the cost of living has gone so high up that this money that I was bringing in now doesn't cover it. It doesn't cut it. Because being a hairdresser in the first place, surprise, surprise, to everybody else in the whole world, who would have guessed, doesn't pay great. It doesn't pay great. And if you got into this because of how well it pays, you're dumb. You're dumb because it doesn't pay great. If you are at one of those salons that you're chair renting or whatever like that, you got super solidly booked books and you charge pretty decent high prices, then yeah, you'll make good money. But that's not most hairstylists. It really isn't. It's like 10-15% of them. Most hairstylists are like paycheck to paycheck, or they're working for a place that does commissions, and most places that do commissions do not do fair commission structures for their hairstylists. So if you're a hairstylist working for a big corporate chain salon, this is your time to negotiate. By the way, just so you know, as a hairstylist and a salon owner, I know the difficult place that all managers and owners are in right now. And so if you have been considering leaving hairdressing in general, or leaving your salon, or you need more money from the current salon that you're at, your pay structure is not fair right now, this is the time to negotiate that. Because people who are in my position are in a really, really tough position. You can't afford to pay more, but you also don't want your stylist and all their clients to leave. So we're in a pinch. Use that pinch. I'm so sorry to hairdressers who own salons that are hearing this right now, because I sound like a bad person saying that. But like when you work in a good environment, in a good salon, and you love your manager, and you're in a healthy situation, you can still ask for something without threatening to leave, But this is for all those hairdressers who are out there who are working at these like big corporate chain salons or these super successful salons that they're like, okay, you can afford to give me a pay raise right now. You can afford to do that. And if you can't, then I'm gonna leave, because so many salons are looking for stylists with a clientele. So even if you have 50% retention right now, like if 50% of your week is booked, you are looking good to the eyes of any hair salon in your area. Trust me right now. Because owners are looking for hairstylists, because we need to bring your clientele over. We need to absorb that new clientele. We need to have somebody who's available for some more days, because like even my salon, like we're mostly staffed, but if I hire anybody on, it'll be somebody with a clientele and with some experience, because I have some days that my clients are calling in saying, hey, I need somebody. And we're like, oh, sorry, we're fully booked, because we only have a few stylists that work those days and we are fully booked. And then there are other days that the salon is empty because everyone takes those days off. So, I don't even know if what I'm saying, like, I'm not following a script, by the way, clearly. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys my feelings and be like, what the heck is going on with the economy? And if you're frustrated with what's going on as a hairdresser right now, like, I feel you too. I am there too right now, absolutely. But there are things that you can do to change that, because the government of Canada during COVID had this program where they would give you a small business loan. And you had 2 years before you had to pay it off. And I think it was interest free. I don't even know the details. It's whatever. And so many, many, many salons and small businesses took that offer. We were one of them. And then we get the email 3 days ago saying, hey, by the end of the year, December 31st, you owe us tens of thousands of dollars. So when COVID hit and then the economy tanked, nobody was able to make up the extra tens of thousands of dollars that we needed to make up to pay back not only our loan from the government, but like everything else that happened. Because we still had to pay bills and we still had to pay rent, but we weren't allowed to open up our salons to make the money to pay the rent. So many salons fell so far back, still took that that loan, and now they have to pay it back. And it's tens of thousands of dollars, and everybody is just scraping by. But, you can't raise your prices because then clients will leave and go somewhere else. And you have to pay your stylist more because the economy sucks and they can't afford gas and groceries. So profit margins are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And if you were in the, make it or break it part during COVID, like you haven't made tens of thousands of dollars to just have in the bank to get ready to pay off to the government of Canada. So the reason why I'm saying this is that there's going to be a lot of small businesses, I predict, this year that are going to be closing down. Unfortunately, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be very sad. But if you are a hairdresser and you're feeling like you have this much left in you before you just fully give up, if you have like this much left in you, like use it up. Don't give up with 10% left, like don't give up with 10% left. Only give up when you have negative 10%. Like you gave everything and some more, because there's going to be salons that close, which means the clients that are at those salons have to disperse, which means the stylists that are at those salons who want to keep working have to disperse and go to other salons. So let's just say in your area you have 20 salons in your neighborhood and 7 of them close. Now, all of the clients from those 7 salons have to go between the next 13. That's helpful for everybody at the 13. It sucks for the 7 that closed. So sorry. But this comes down to who's the bigger fish, or who can last on longer, or who has enough grit in them to just keep going a little bit longer and pull through, because your competition, I hate to say that it's competition. It's not, but it is. Your competition will struggle a bit because you're struggling a bit, and this feels like it's going nowhere. All of it feels like it's going nowhere. This video feels like it's going nowhere, but I have so many frustrating, confusing feelings about this whole thing. And even though my salon's doing well in like the grand spectrum of how salons are doing, I feel like we're on like the better end. We're still struggling. Like, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I hate doing this. I hate running a salon. I hate managing. I hate having this giant weight. I feel like Atlas. I feel like that Greek god Atlas, who's just got like the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's just trying to not crumple underneath of it, because I have the careers of 15 people on my shoulders, as well as mine, plus a crazy amount of debt for these salons, right? And then you get told there's another several, like tens of thousands that you owe in 2 weeks. So, I get it. And our salon has a good reputation and we're busy-ish. But December used to be something that would book up for all the stylists. Like, it would book out for weeks. And by end of October, everyone would have their 2 weeks before Christmas. Like, that would be solidly booked. Everybody in the salon, even the new people, everyone would be so solidly booked for the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So like December 8th to 25th-ish. That area, super solid. And then you'd work backwards from there. Or you would extend hours or something like that. And in my salon, like, my clients book Christmas with me in July and August, because they know if they want like an evening appointment a week before Christmas, they have to book with me in July. So my clients have still booked that, and that's great. That's awesome. But just my December got booked, and there's been some big cancellations. There's some big no-shows, and it's so frustrating because like those appointments are so hard to like book in the middle of the day for that amount of time. Oftentimes you're double booking and trying to fit in as many people as possible. So when somebody no-shows or cancels on you last minute, it's so hard to fit that one in and make that work with the rest of your schedule. You basically just like take the loss and say, okay, that's $300 that I'm suddenly not getting paid that I needed. And I was one of 2 stylists in the salon who ended up booking December solidly. Most of my other stylists are don't bark. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Distract. She's a dachshund, so she wants to bark when she hears something outside. Most of my other stylists are having kind of a hard time filling in to the top. I mean, they're booked, but they're not December booked. They're summer booked in December. And December should be crazy busy. We should all be taking on extra clients, extra time, extra hours, extra days even, just to be making up for what we missed in November, what we plan on missing in January, February. Like, December, historically, for a lot of salons, has been that time where people will make up for October, November, January, February, and March. Then in April, it starts speeding up again because, summer's coming and everyone wants to be blonde for summer. But last December sucked. Last December royally sucked. And I know it did for most salons. A lot of people weren't talking about it then, but I feel like people are talking about it now. If you're a hairdresser, like you're feeling the economy, you're feeling the pinch, you're feeling all of it, and it all feels like it's coming down on you to save people money and also to keep everything going, and it's so much. So I know where you're at. I know how you're feeling. I feel that way too. And if you're a salon owner, then obviously like thoughts and prayers or like whatever you believe in, but like good vibes to you because you're going through it. You're probably trying to balance like what bill do I pay right now because I can't pay both. And it's December. December, you should be raking it in. December, we should be able to be giving really generous bonuses to our staff and thanking them with all the extra profits that we got. Well, not all of it, but like, like a good amount. Like every December, I've been finding that I've been able to increase the commissions that my stylists make. And I can't do that this year. I feel so bad about it. But every December, I'm like, hey guys, for the month of December, you guys are making a bonus commission on top of whatever commission you usually make because we want you guys to do well. And we can't do that this year. This year was a box of Purdy's chocolates and taking y'all out for dinner. And that's it. It sucks. The economy sucks. All of this sucks. And I feel so bad for everybody who is having to deal with it and is in the struggle of like, do I even continue? Do I want to do this? And is all the fun taken out of it now? I feel like if you don't love doing hair, like the physical act of doing the hair, if you don't love being creative and solving the problems and doing the hair anymore, I would say it's time to kick it. Because that's the only thing that's worth doing it right now. Like that's the only thing in this industry right now that is keeping me, I have to. I've sunk myself so deep into it. Like I have to keep going. But like for people who just feel like all their passion in hair is gone and they're like, oh, I've done it for so long, I may as well just keep doing it. If there's another option for you that pays better, you don't have to struggle so hard and you just go to work and your job is there and you get paid whether or not there's work to be done. Whether or not your clients show up, you still get paid. Like that would be awesome. And then you leave work and work has left. Work is done for the day. You don't get texts on your phone at 11 o'clock at night saying, hey, I'm not feeling great. I'm not coming in for my 6-hour appointment tomorrow. Or, hey, do you have something for tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. because I didn't book with you beforehand and I really want something now. And, it's far too much. It's too much. And I just wanted to let you guys know, I feel it too. I'm sorry for the rant. I feel it too. And I really hope that it gets better. Because it doesn't feel like it's going to get any better. But I really hope that it does. But I straight up, like from the beginning of this video that I was saying, like, if there is another world economic crisis, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it. I am locking up my salon doors and I'm saying, everyone go find a different job. I'm done. I'm done managing this. I'm done doing this. So, all the power to you. Let's send best wishes to the other hairdressers out there. Because people have realized that hair is a luxury and not a necessity. So all of our jobs are at stake. All of our livelihoods are at stake. And people are expecting us to be the place where they save money. And that's not fair. That's not fair. If you have to pay more for everything in your life, we do too. We're people too. We have everything as we have the same bills as you. Our bills grew as well. So our prices have to grow. Although our salon hasn't done a price increase in like a year and a half because we're scared to lose clients. Because, having a client come in for $200 is better than not having a client come in at all when you know that $200 is kind of underselling your time. Like, it was worth $250 or $300. At least someone came in for the day. At least you made something, even if it's not really going to cover much of anything. Anyways, low kind of mood video. It's not super positive and helpful. It's not 2 stars and a wish. It's not great. But I'm all about honesty here, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm going through it too. I feel you. And if you want to reach out, tell me that you feel the same, you can. You know where to reach out. But yeah, if you made it this far, comment down in the comment section to tell me if your salon is struggling or you're finding clients are hard to hold on to these days. Let me know.